Alright folks, welcome to the finale. I call this the engine room. So Brev has taken the Kingdom Stone to the deepest, darkest recesses of his ship, and our only hope of saving Avalanche at this point from a crippling energy crisis and the total breakdown of Avalanche society is to take the stone back in a one-on-one confrontation with Brevin in his chambers before the ship leaves orbit forever. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. I do like this level quite a bit. When I first got here I thought, oh, it's just going to be like the final Sigma level, just a short climb up to the boss room. But no, it's actually pretty long. It's just these two super long vertical shafts. But they managed to cram a lot of stuff into them. You know, it's still a pretty fun stage. I really like the visuals in particular. I mean, look at that background. It feels like we're in a giant heart. It's very simple with all these giant wires coiling around, all these weird colors and whatnot, but it's so effective. It does make us feel like we stepped into a different world altogether, just the innermost, most advanced parts of the ship. It really feels like it's alive at this point. It's kind of freaky. But, you know, again, I really like that stuff. It just makes this level stand out. So yeah, they reused quite a few gimmicks in this stage, like the disappearing blocks, which I don't mind so much because there's enough of them that they kind of form actual platforms, and you don't have to worry so much about falling off of them. But also, you know, these teleportation receivers, I guess you could call them. I know you might think, oh, but touching them is a good thing, right? Because then you'll be taken to a higher part of the level. But no, they actually take you down to those green pads down there, to the floor at the bottom of this platforming section. I do like that they managed to reuse a lot of gimmicks like that and the disappearing blocks in interesting new ways. You know, sometimes better ways than, you know, like in Mega Man and so on. Just pretty good stuff. Yeah, things are starting to get kind of crazy again, but, you know, I think we've seen everything Brevin could throw at us at this point. I mean, he's tried to kick us out the airlock, he's tried to suffocate us in a vacuum, throw entire armies and a barrage of turrets our way, along with the most heinous roadblock of all, the disappearing blocks. So what's he got left? What could he possibly throw at us to keep us away? Of course! A giant blazer! Why not? So yeah, Brevin's final defenses are just the most powerful. This thing is insta-kill. I mean, not really, it doesn't kill you in one hit, but it shaves off your health so fast that it may as well be. Like, there have been times when I've touched that just as it was about to stop, and it clipped off, like, some of my health. And then there have been some times where I've tried to shoot through it with a Comet Dash and it hasn't really worked. But anyway, I don't think this thing is even a weapon of some kind. I don't think it's even a defensive measure. If it was something of, like just to keep us away, you'd think it would be on all the time. And I think it's more of like, the engine is just so powerful. It has to cool down by discharging energy like this now and then. But then again, I'm probably overthinking things. But you know, that's just the way I look at it. You may have noticed I started this level with full health, despite ending the previous level with not very much health at all. That's because I died in this recording, but it is the same file. You know, I just had to restart the level and try recording again. I do a separate recording for the final boss because I did die at it and I like made it to the final phase, but then I lost all of my lives and I just kept getting frustrated and dying again. So I'm like, heck with it. You know, I kept the recording of the stage because I thought it was pretty good, but you know, the final boss is a separate recording, but don't worry, I do manage to get to the whole boss without dying, you'll see. And keep in mind, we're still doing this on hard mode. Okay, this is the most tense part of the level right here. There are plenty of places where you can stop, but if you manage to make it all the way up here in one climb... And there you go, we're past the laser, we're past, you know, Brevin's last defenses. Well, kinda, there's still a few enemies here to watch out for. Thankfully, those cans will take out most of these enemies for you. I really don't like those orange enemies, but only because, you know, they're so effective. Obviously, they work. I guess it's that they have so much health that you can't really completely take them down in one go most of the time. You gotta be quick about it. Brevin's final defense is this laser turret that fires each time that meter fills up. So yeah, you just gotta stay out of those crosshairs. And here we are.
Forgive you.
I have no use for forgiveness, especially from someone who puts my homeworld at risk for an oversized battery. I offer you one final chance. Leave now. So be it.
This is where shit hits the fan, folks. This is a 3-phase boss fight. And, you know, the first phase is another round with this thing, whatever it is. And it is a bit tougher here. It has a couple of new attacks. The thing to note about this fight is, well, okay. First off, I do die in this phase. I just wanted to show off some of how tough just this first phase alone is. Usually it's pretty easy for me just because this thing doesn't have that much health. I don't think it even has as much health as it did the first time we fought it. But still, it has so many crazy attacks, and they are pretty damaging. I guess the key thing to note about these first couple of phases, like I remember when I was like at the forums, Sonic Retro, and I was talking with Stripe. He was working on the final boss at the time, and yeah. Anyway, what is it we said? We were talking about how these phases would go, because so often you have a boss fight like this, and then the last phase, the supposedly strongest phase, is actually the easiest for some reason. So we were going like, hey, okay, how about this? How about the first couple of phases cover a huge area with their attacks, you know, just all over the place, but they don't actually do that much damage. But then, like, the last phase is much smaller, but it's faster, and its attacks are smaller, but they hit a lot harder. So, you know, it's just much deadlier that way. And he's like way ahead of you guys, and that's exactly what he did with this boss fight. I mean, if it seems super duper strong, well, at the moment, it's because, well, this is hard mode. So yeah, phase 2 is just this giant robot suit, and it's by far its most annoying attack are these lasers, just because I almost always get hit by it. He really likes to jump around with basically using Lilac's Comet Dash. Hey, look at that, I can do that too. It's just really, really neat. I like it when they do things like that. I love that there's a lot of crazy sound effects in this boss fight. I like the background, the music is pretty epic. It's another remix of Brevin's theme. Just a more like grandiose orchestral sounding version of it. There's just a lot going on. Again, I'm playing this on hard mode because this boss was kind of watered down in normal mode. You know, his attacks are slower, he has more of a tell. But there we go! Thankfully, they do restore your health at the end of each of these phases, which is nice. You know, you don't need any sub-tanks or energy tanks or things like that. And even then, even if you die at any of these phases, you'll restart at the last phase you were fighting. So, you know, that's pretty nice.
I will make you pay for what you have done!
I'd like to see you try.
The final throwdown with Brevin is something else. Look at that! He doesn't even give you a second to breathe. He tries to knife you as soon as the music starts. And that wouldn't be so bad, at least on normal mode, but on hard mode, that one attack clips off 6 petals. That's most of your health. Gone, just like that. I mean, jeez, no wonder he was able to take out so many people so easily in the earlier cutscenes. So yeah, how do I describe this? Brevin doesn't feel like an actual video game boss. He feels like a person. A real player with a controller controlling Brevin, who's a total psycho in real life. And it works. It's really fun. Like, yeah, it's super hard. You're gonna die a lot on your first run through. He can take you out in no time at all. But gosh darn it, it's just so exhilarating. Especially with this music. The final mix of Brevin's theme really sells this fight. There's just so much going on all over the place. It's super fast paced. You know, it can go either way. You just gotta try to goad him into tossing you around without hurting you too much. Shave off as much of his health whenever you get the chance. When you're both flying around like this, it can start to feel like one of those Mega Man decisive battle videos. I really like those. And that's it! So yeah, pretty fun boss fight. And yeah, I managed to take out all 3 phases in one recording on hard mode, baby! Yeah! That's that line I was talking about a few parts ago. I felt the need to throw it in there because it just cast Lilac in a whole new light and made her more interesting to me. That one line made me like her more. So, you know, I felt that it would be good for everyone else to hear that.
She's alive!
Mila will live.
You weren't yourself. It's okay. It's okay. I couldn't save it. I couldn't even stop him from getting away.
Of course.
Don't beat yourself up.
Sequel!
Revan didn't get the stone, and his army was destroyed with his ship. Thanks to you, our mission is complete.
But at what cost? How are we going to survive without any more energy?
Lilac, you might want to look up.
It's not destroyed? It must have changed form!
Call me impressed.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. But yeah! Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
An opportunity has fallen to our world. We now realize that the Kingdom Stone was never fading, but changing in ways that were transparent to us in our lust for power and prestige. The wind carries its eternal glow to the furthest reaches of our lands, and former enemies extend their hands to one another, acknowledging the error of their ways. Creatures both mutant and metal still ravage the landscape, and it will be some time before we can dispose of them once and for all. Perhaps most troubling of all is that Lord Revan, the monster who threw our world into chaos, is nowhere to be found. There is still much work to be done. We are not completely out of danger, but my people and I will rest easy tonight, knowing that the bravery and sacrifice of a select few have given our world another chance.
I never got to properly thank you all for helping me.
Hey, we're buds. That's what buddies do.
Well, on behalf of the Coalition of Planets, you'll have our sincerest gratitude.
Shh, come here, you.
Thank you.
So, I guess this is it, huh?
I'm gonna miss you. Me too.
Well, who knows? I could be coming back sooner than you think. Until then, just take care of yourselves. The world needs you.
See you around, spaceman!
Goodbye, Torque! Bye, Torque!
See you soon!
I like how, there's a paw print and Carol's signature and Lilac put a heart on the ship. That's a nice touch. So yeah, that was Freedom Planet. I don't think it should be too hard to guess by now that I love this game. Like, yeah, there's a few things here and there that annoy the crap out of me, but overall I'd say this game lived up to my expectations. If not more than that. That's so bad. It's hard to recreate the reaction I had when I first saw that. I did crack up.
Hey, you! Thanks for playing!
Oh, no problem. Thanks, Carol. He was a snake all along. So yeah, not much else to say about this bit. It's just a quick roll call showing all the characters and their voice actors. Just something nice to get out of the way. There is one standout role that I find particularly hilarious. It's coming right up. That's Stephen Aduro. That's the creator of the game. And that's his sole speaking role. That's the only thing he says in the entire game. It's funny.
May the winds of time carry you for eternity.
So yeah, I really can't sing this game's praises enough. There's so many things about it that I just love to pieces. Like, the music. Okay, I love the music. Thank you everyone who contributed to that, to making this huge soundtrack with a huge range. I love everything I love about video game music, and even just music in general. Thank you for the sound design. Everything is just so over the top and has this great punch to it. It's like, it just really pops. I like the voice acting too. Like, the voice acting is spot on. Like, yeah, it might be kind of annoying at some points because just of the dialogue or because of the way they enunciate certain things. It might be a little off, but overall, I think everyone hits the mark they're going for. Like, yeah, it's kind of loud and crazy and screechy, but that's just the feel they were going for, guys. They wanted it to sound kind of like something out of an anime, or, yes, an old video game from the 90s. And I wouldn't really call that bad voice acting, like some people may find it annoying, but I think it's just a purely personal thing. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm in those 1,105 Kickstarter backers. I did donate to the game, but I was a little late to the party. This whole ending sequence, it's very reminiscent of the ending of Cowboy Bebop. I like it quite a bit. Oh, by the way, Mega G-Wolf is doing an LP of this game on his channel. He just started, so, you know, there's a shout out to that. Go check that out if you aren't sick of seeing people play this game. So yeah, I love the level design, and I love the physics and the platforming. They're always throwing new things your way. They never seem to run out of ideas, and the levels are really open, but they're also like good for speed running. Like, you can explore, you can go wherever you want. You don't have to either. It's like you can play however you want. You can just, it always fits your play style. That's the beauty of it. That's what makes it so fun. There is no right way to play it most of the time. You can just pick up a controller and do whatever you want. You know, it's just, I love that. They encourage you to mess around with it, to see what you can get away with, and I think that's one of the game's strengths. I think that's what makes it so fun, is that it's malleable. That's the kind of thing people love about games like Super Metroid, you know, being able to sequence break and stuff. And again, this stuff just works. And yeah, there's not really much else I can say. I love how this game turned out. Thank you everyone who contributed to this game, who made it possible for me to play it. After all these years, I'd say it has definitely exceeded my expectations. And more. I will be making an extra video and posting my final thoughts on the game. So, you know, that's like a quick summation of the things I like about it, but I do have a few more things to say about it. You know, we'll get to that in the next video. And, I guess that's really all I can say for now. It's just, wow. Thank you guys for sticking around for this LP so far. Thanks for everyone who worked on it. This has been a grand old time. See you in the extra video.